Waiting for you to come back.
Okay. Thank you.
Something I'm going to discuss, explain also will be beneficial for you, everyone. You know, a big question, a common question and query for all of us is that, see that we are so obliged, places and situations we are living in or scattered around. There are so many spiritualists, devotees, so many parts of the world connected to all different types of institutions, organizations, different sadhus, gurus, different situations. So they sometimes think, oh, I had something, but I was missing something on the other hand. They feel, I know it is happening, it was happening, but I was not there. So I missed something. I got something very nice, which from my own location, where I am located in, from my own situation. But at the same time, I could be on the other location, other situation, I could have something but I missed because of the limitations. Happens. Answer to that is, you know, our Guru Varga, Srila Guru Maharaj, all our Guru Varga, in many places of the Holy Scriptures, a very nice answer, practical answer is given. I mean, through their essence of the message, the answer is given. When you can connect, when you can connect to higher levels of the universal divine consciousness, when we know through certain feelings and intelligence, through some higher feelings and intelligence, know to connect to the plane of higher divine knowledge and consciousness, divine consciousness, even in a limited way, even in a little bit way, in the form of glimpse, if we have some connection. Okay. But then we realize something. It doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter under which time, place, situation I am situated in, on what part of the world, in which country, which language I am speaking. Always some path is coming to the center. So it doesn't always really matter, except for the very, very evil, hellish situation. I'm talking about the average, common, good situations. Okay, that is another chapter, another fold, another department of consideration. The hellish, evil, turmoil, experience of turmoil. But other than that, I'm talking in average way. Averagely, no matter, doesn't really matter in which particular time, place, situations I'm living in, I'm living my life with. Okay, which language I'm speaking in, to what, to whom, which sadhu or which spiritualist I'm connecting myself to. But if I remain very sincerely open, truthful to my own self, and with deep prayer, deep and quality, high-class prayer to the Supreme Lord, not with primary type of elementary type of prayers, less qualified prayers, but highly qualified prayers. Okay? Then we can always be connecting to the central truth from all directions. Center. Okay. Although I am explaining this with formal examples with design, it can give us some idea. It cannot explain everything, but you understand what I mean. From each and every position, whatever position, time, place, situation you are situated in, okay, when you are very, very sincere to your own prayer, high class prayer, high quality prayer, then, and so then it will so happen, ultimately, Lord gracious will, some graciously guiding will of the Lord. In other words, some gracious power and some gracious will of the Lord will be automatically guiding you, inspiring you and guiding you to follow certain paths, which will lead you ultimately to the center, meeting the center. You'll be guided. And when it doesn't happen like that, even if you see very near, close by you, your great benediction appeared in your life. Sometimes it so happens, some great benediction appearing before you in your life, very close to you. Some higher good, higher fortune just appeared very close to you, but you didn't know how to recognize it. You missed so much. You did not know how to connect it. Although it came close to you, you could have embraced that chance by great fortune, mysterious way. But because the candidate didn't know how to relate, didn't know to recognize, identify it, went away. Sometimes we receive such chances. Why we miss such chances? Because of our prejudices. I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Who will think what? I will displease him, I will displease her. I will lose a society. They will speak, they will not appreciate me. I need to please them because I am living in this society. So many other obligations, my own superstitions in the mind, different prejudices in the form of prejudices. So even if some highest good, higher good came so close to me in certain ways, I cannot fully accept it. Or I cannot accept it at all, or I could accept half-hearted way to some extent, trying to keep some balance according to time, place, situation, not being so open-hearted to embrace it. It can happen this way, even if when the higher good coming so very close to me physically and mentally in my life, I may or may not be able. In many cases, I am not able to accept it. So I miss. Let the great good of my life go away from me. On the other hand, it can also happen so, you are staying far, situated in far, a physical distance, in another part of the country, other parts of the world, okay, other situation, but still, by some mystically, wonderfully, you are being guided by super soul, by some gracious will of the Lord, guided to the path and coming to the center, accepting the higher good. You are being able, qualified to embrace the higher good by searching, by loving and sincere searching. From distance you are coming nearer to the higher good of life. And also, as through your loving search you are coming nearer and nearer to the higher good also going nearer and nearer to you. So it's reciprocation happening both ways. You have it. Okay. But it can also happen other way around. Because of lack of qualification. Okay. Because of total isolations. When higher good came nearby you, didn't know how to identify, how to accept it, went away. Maybe again that chance will come, not just for once for all time, but sometimes it's rare, very rare. Some rare chance comes, we just take it average way, casual way, and let it go. So this is called fate. When I was talking about every individual have got some individual fates. So
now we came here to meet the higher good, so now we took the chance.
So therefore, true devotees don't need to worry at all. No matter how scattered they're remaining, passing through all different time, place, situations, in different parts of the world, but still, they all can connect to the center from there. Because ultimately, we are connected with the center, with our origin. Nothing can take it away. All difference it makes, conditioning and non-conditioning. As soon as we are free of conditioning, we are no more conditioned jiva soul. We become liberated. So only what makes the difference? Covering of ignorance and discovering, getting rid of ignorance. Being covered and staying covered and being uncovered. Staying in conditioning, staying within conditioning, being conditioned, and other way, being liberated, getting unconditioned more and more. Very slow but steady way, but there are different steps of being unconditioned also. At some point, being liberated. Sometimes unconditioning doesn't happen abruptly. Like sometimes we open different fold, different layers, then you go to the center in the box. There are different layers of covering. Open after one after another, then we go to the real fruit, the central wealth. In the spiritual world also happens like that. But our truthfulness, truthful devotional feelings, truthful feelings from our core of heart, from our super soul, soul and super soul level, combined with some loving taste and intelligence of Krishna consciousness, can always award us, reward us, bless us immensely. Bless us with the highest good of our life. No doubt about it. So therefore, Sri Guru Maharaj explained repeatedly different ways. Connect to the center. No matter how scattered you are, okay, connect to the center from which is your origin. You can do it. Wake up and march towards the central truth, central good of life, where all paths are coming together, getting unified. Once we meet the center, nothing remains separated there. All are harmoniously unified there. We're all becoming one, all meeting the oneness there. From all diversified ways, paths from different all directions. Okay? All meeting the center. It's not the point, it's the domain. It's not the domain again. Neither the point, not the domain, not even empire. See, our language is so limited. It is what it is. Central position is what it is. Absolute central position, which unifies all diversified paths in itself. Called the world of absolute harmony, world of absolute unison, harmonization, harmonious realization of the absolute truth. So finally, we receive the goal, our highest goal, which is central goal. The center of all perfections, center of all our divine goals, divine paths. So it happens. So it's taken care of. Devotees don't need to worry. They're all taken care of. No matter in which position they're situated in, they're all attracted, guided to the center. Finally, we all meet as one big nectarine family of Radha Krishna, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhara Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Srivas Prabhu. But again, in that world of the center, in the infinite world, infinite universe of the central absolute good, there are different levels of power, there are different levels of qualities and tastes, releases, different qualifications, but they are all included within the center, not outside it. Happens through Achinta Bheda Bhed way. Simultaneously one and distinct, simultaneously distinct within oneness, distinct within oneness and oneness with distinctions, both happening together. That is the marvelous, wonderful experience of the union. The full-fledged conception of the union, or unison, union in unison, total harmony, is that there is oneness and distinction both at the same time. If there is no distinctions, any difference, there will be no union. Union only possible when it is more than one. What is being united? If it is only oneness stays. It cannot be united. So no experience of union can happen if it is only one in oneness. I repeat, when something is only one in one, only one in oneness, union cannot happen. And when, on the other hand, if it is a disconnected two realities, if it is a two realities or more than two realities without the connection, then also union is not possible. Two separate realities, then it remains more different, only in difference, as two separate or two, three, many separate realities. There's no connection in between, no connection established. So it cannot be united. So therefore that connection all through them, which is binding them all together, is oneness, represents oneness. Unifying principle, that is one in one. But what that is binding, that principle binding, which it is binding together, that is diversified. That is all individual identity. So, again, therefore Mahaprabhu very nicely explained. He precisely explained about this wonderful principle through Achinta Bheda Bheda, simultaneous oneness and distinctions. The concept of the absolute harmonious union, ambrosial union, is that of having simultaneous characters of oneness and distinctions. All distinctions unified into one oneness, and all oneness also embracing all the distinctive entities into itself, making them one. So, like an organic whole. Sometimes our system, our biological system, our life system also works sometimes in oneness, flowing in oneness. See, eyes are seeing, ear is hearing, hand working, all focused, doing the same job, isn't it? Although these are separate senses. Eyes, ear, thought process, hands, they're separate, with separate entities, but they're so interconnected. They're so focused, concentrated, interconnected. Everything in unison, doing the job. Eyes are engaged, ears are also listening. Okay, you're seeing, you're hearing, you're thinking, hands also working accordingly. The way you are thinking, you are expressing your thoughts accordingly. Your ways of intonation and pronunciation, arts of pronunciation also happening so, translating your thought into language, to be communicating with others. See, all are working together. That is happening, flowing into one system. So this is also a relative example of how many things can get together and flow into oneness with one focus, one single pointed attention and focus, concentration. And being centralized has got a lot of power within it. When you get focused, you become so centralized and focused, then it produces much more power rather than when we stay so diversified ways. Okay, so it is necessary for us. As it is necessary for us to become generous and be relating to all different diversified ways, or different genuine ways, but finally aim to bring all of them together into oneness, not stay diversified. Ultimate aim, to be accepting many beautiful optional ways, optional paths to relate to the same Supreme Lord Krishna or Radhika. Okay, appreciating them, sometimes cultivating them, but cultivating them in relation to the center, not away, separate from the center. When they are all cultivated in relation to the central truth, then they are all successful. Otherwise, if they go away from the center, okay, without connection of the centers, then all time, energy gets wasted. Then it becomes Bahushakha Jhanantascha Buddhaya Prabhushayana. Lord Krishna says, in our words, sometimes we say, Jack of all trades, master of none. We say, Jack of all trades, master of none. or we learn little things from all different departments of knowledge, okay, from all different divisions and departments of knowledge. We learn little bit here, little bit there, little, but we do not have proper concept of anything, so they do not come to any help. Rather, little learning becomes dangerous things. Okay. So therefore, trying all through different paths, little way, is not intelligent at all. Like when you are traveling through one high road, follow that one high road only. You reach the destination. Don't need to try for different high roads at the same time, coming to the same destination. You cannot do it. Going little bit here, then going back to another road. Going little bit towards, going back, no, another road. You cannot reach the destination. It's so much time and energy lost. Rather, when you accept one high road, stay there, you can go to the destination. Another person will be reaching the same destination from another, following through another high road. Okay, but one cannot try to be following all the high roads together. Take a journey to the destination. Cannot. Doesn't work. Sometimes we can make mistakes. In the name of non-sectarianism, we can make that mistake. Becoming non-sectarian doesn't necessarily mean I'll be including all at the same time. Okay, all jumbling all up together. Like all, you're a musician, artist, all the musical ragas, all the musical melodies cannot be all played together. Then you cannot relish any of them. At a time you have to play one musical melody, one raga. That is also composed by the befitting musical ragas together. One raga is not composed of one or two notes, so many musical notes composing one raga, swinging from one raga into another raga. You can do that. But if somebody wants to play all kinds of ragas together, same time, each will disturb other. So, in the name of non-sectarianism, we cannot be wild, cannot be disharmonious. There's proper ways of the applications, proper ways of accepting. Okay? The non-harmonious way of acceptance and harmonious way of acceptance. Okay? We can accept many. With all generosity, we can accept many in a harmonious way. With this harmonious means central harmony is working there to control them, unify them, following that. That is one. And when we try to accept all of them together, at the same time, without understanding what is the right way of application, right way of acceptance, wrong way of acceptance, right without understanding wrong way of implementation and right ways of implementation, then all get wild and jumbled up together instead of benefiting us. You use many cookies, too many cookies in the cooking, it will spoil the soup. But you are using many different cookies, but you know which spices need to be applied, what proportion. Then food becomes very tasty. Okay? Sometimes in the name of non-sectarianism, you put many cookies all. Why should I not? I put all the cookies and cook a nice food. It won't happen. So, one has to learn, intelligently learn the ways of acceptance also. How much to accept, to what extent, where to start, where to stop. It comes up through that feelings, the realization comes through realizations, developing realizations. So back to the point. In the name of generosities, sometimes if we become too decentralized, too much decentralized and diversified, then we lose so much power. so much, potency, power of the concentration, concentrated energy, focused energy. See, there you go out in the sun, take a lens. When you take the sunlight to take a lens and concentrate, you catch fire. Because it is concentrated energy, centralized. Sunlight is everywhere, they are not burning. But you take a lens, let the sunlight pass through that lens, thick lens, and do it. Concentrate in such a way, you can see the point. Sunlight energy is pointed, centralized. Fire will come up, it will burn. But same sunlight is everywhere energy, it's not burning. So there's a lot of power in centralized devotional service, centralized devotional path. Therefore, single-pointed, often single-pointed attention, single-pointed dedication, in other words, concentrated, centralized way of dedication has been so much glorified. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean, single-pointed doesn't mean that it will be mistreating other optional points. Okay? They are there in the other optional points, substitutes are there in their own position. They will also become single points for others. But for me, this is my single point. I am situated here. This is my position. For me, I need to concentrate. Okay. And lovingly accommodating, harmonizing. Also, some other help, okay, which is so conducive, harmonizing, which will be complementing and bringing greater harmony in my life, greater gain. Then I must embrace others also, while staying situated in the central position. Then that brings a very good result. That often yields with some special fruit, special gain. But going to try many things at the same time, like riding so many boats at the same time, riding so many cars at the same time, riding through so many roads at the same time, it doesn't work. When we reach the center, then we can try other different roads. From the central position, I can go discover this road, that road, that road, that road. All roads are leading to the center. Genuine roads leading to the center, not misleading. There can be some roads not going to the center, leading to some other place. So we also have to bear that in mind. When we speak of the infinite, all roads finally reach the infinite, but there are different levels of the infinite. There are different levels, there are different qualities of the infinite within that. So they cannot be same. When I have got a destination, then I have to accept particular road to reach that destination. Okay. Others can have some other low-class destination, they can reach their goal. But my goal is this. So there are properly leading the roads, properly leading to the proper destination. Also there are roads misleading to the wrong destinations, not meant for me. Both are there. Therefore, being enlightened with proper knowledge is very important. Being illuminated with higher knowledge, knowledge divine, is always very important, valuable. there is so much functioning of the devotional knowledge. Knowledge of devotional, knowledge of the world of devotion, devotional knowledge. The devotional feelings and higher devotional knowledge, they become one at some point. Knowledge means consciousness. I'm not talking about just, intellectually analyzing knowledge. Coming back. So lastly when I was talking about the knowledge and intelligence, at some point, higher knowledge becomes one with consciousness. There, on the highest plane of perfection, there is no much difference between the nature of knowledge and consciousness and devotional feelings. For example, so again, before giving examples, I'm not talking about calculative knowledge here. When you differentiate between knowledge, karma, jnana, bhakti, activity, actions, knowledge, devotion, the differentiations take place because of limitedness, because of their limited characters. Okay, karma, jnana, bhakti, because of the limited applications, limited identities, characters. But on the highest plane of perfection, it is not highest, plane of perfection means highest. So on the plane of perfection, all karma becomes seva, all jnana becomes consciousness, Krishna consciousness, none other than Radha Krishna consciousness. Well, basically intelligence, knowledge, consciousness, they're one being, basically. And bhakti all becomes prema. Beyond all the limited calculative, intellectual knowledge. See, because on the plane of perfection, all activities is none other than Shiva. So all karma, nothing can exist, no activities can take place away from Krishna, without Krishna's interest. So all our karma activities become Shiva. All jnana can never remain just as some kind of calculative, limited calculative intellectual knowledge. All jnanam becomes mixed, unified with Krishna jnanam, Krishna chetana, Krishna consciousness. Sambit, Satchit Anandam. So jnanam represents Sambit. Satchit Anandam, Sadangsha. Sambit means consciousness. So knowledge, consciousness, intelligence all become the same thing ultimately. All become Krishna consciousness on that plane. And bhakti is feelings, love feelings becomes all devoted love feelings, loving devotion. Prema, called prema. So, see, our Braja Gopis in Vrindavanam, they are not less knowledgeable. See, for examples, great examples. Braja Gopis in Aprakrita Vrindavana, transcendental Goloka. Although they pose to be so natural and not highly educated, this and that, but they are all super knowledgeable devotees. Braja Gopis are not necessarily less knowledgeable. When it is said Jnana Shunna means, like the way we say priceless, like the way we say invaluable. Invaluable doesn't necessarily mean valueless. So much more, so much valuable, we cannot even conceive to value it. It's even transcending our concept of the values. It is so highly valuable, called invaluable. Priceless means you cannot give its price. Beyond all highest price. Beyond even transcending all highest price, called priceless, matchless. Similar way, when jnana shunna means beyond all the limited calculative knowledges. Doesn't mean devoid of knowledge. Level is devoid of knowledge and intelligence, only love feelings, not that. That plain jnana shunna level of prema, I repeat, jnana shunna level of the ecstatic love of Radha Krishna, blissful love, is full of that kind of knowledge, or rather consciousness, which is transcending all intellectual, limited, knowledgeable experiences, or limited intelligence, because they are all fulfilled. On that stage, the knowledge becomes consciousness. Consciousness means none other than prema consciousness, consciousness of loving devotion. So their loving devotion and their knowledge, everything becomes unified together, become one in the plane of highest perfection. So knowledge comes from consciousness. If there is no consciousness, that's the basis of the knowledge. If there is no consciousness, if there is no life, no experiencing ability, there is no question of having knowledge. No question of having intellectual calculations, hypothetical knowledge. So knowledge develops based on consciousness, originating from consciousness. So consciousness means it is consciousness, life experience. Knowledge is certain type of aspects of the consciousness. Sometimes wisdom and knowledge, though basically they are interrelated, but they are not same thing. One can be intellectually knowledgeable but may not be wise. Can be very knowledgeable but doesn't know how to apply. Doesn't know proper implementations. So there comes wisdom. Although great knowledge, great wisdom, they are all interrelated. Basically same thing, they are coming from the same absolute consciousness, life consciousness. So, because knowledge ultimately means consciousness, divine consciousness. So therefore, the divine consciousness means what? Ultimately, it is ecstatic love consciousness. Consciousness of Krishna Prema, Radha Krishna Prema. Ultimately, it is blissful love consciousness of the divine couple. So, everything comes together there. All their devotional services, all the mottos, intentions, feelings, knowledge behind devotional services, their own intelligence of how to serve Krishna, how to please Krishna to the best, and the loving devotional, devoted love feelings by itself, prema, all coming together, working in the one central interest for the pleasure of Krishna. All their activities, services, all their knowledge, consciousness, all their goal of all their activities and consciousness, to please Krishna in ecstatic love, all coming together. So, that's what happens. in the lives of the Braja Gopis. Everything is there. Where there is Krishna Prema, okay, the Krishna Prema is the source, origin of all perfections. Where there is Krishna Prema, all knowledge, all great karmas, all everything, all wonderful, beautiful things, all embraced within, ultimately. Why I am explaining this? Sometimes devotees think, oh, knowledge, I don't need. I only need to be pure devotee. But there are some good knowledge, complementing good knowledge of the Siddhantas, that can be guiding lights in our life, that can be guiding us so well, enlightening us, illuminating us with the proper concept of the Siddhanta, that can be so beneficial, okay, which will be so beneficial, which will be so beneficially promoting, complementing and promoting loving devotion to Krishna. They are not like dry kind of intellectual, formal knowledge. Therefore, Mahaprabhu said, Chaitanya Charitamrita, it was said, Siddhanta boliya chitte na karo alas, jaha hoite lage Krishna sudhira manas. Never try to be lazy in understanding Siddhanta. Never try to be ignoring, casual or lazy in understanding and feeling into the world of enlightened Siddhanta, because that is so much helpful, that brings so much benefits, okay, helps us so much actually ultimately to promote Krishna Prema, to sustain, promote, nurture Krishna Prema. So they are not to be avoided, thinking in a Mayavadi kind of way, oh, knowledge, I don't need it. If it is not needed, why all our Mahajanas, all the great realized devotees, exalted devotees, created so many books, wrote so many things? Why? If the Siddhanta, knowledge of Siddhanta, true conceptions of the Siddhanta will not be required in our life, why they compose so many beautiful books full of Siddhantas? Ultimately to promote Krishna, Radha Krishna Prema, to promote that goal. So, enlightenment of the Siddhanta is so beneficial. Okay, stop it, stop. For now.